we are going to introduce you now to Ukraine's new owner in a minute. The new owner of Ukraine has just been announced. But first, a quick war update for you. Word today that Ukraine is postponing its military offensive against Russia because of the weather, because they say it's too hot now. I'm sorry, what? It's too hot now, but it was just too cold?
They need it just right.
Like the three little bears? Okay, so it was too cold and soggy like a week ago, so you're postponing. It was going to get pushed till summer, but now it's too hot. Okay, I just want to be clear we're all on the same page here. So you can tell the excuses are getting thicker and thicker and thicker by the moment. But we all know the truth about what's actually going on. There's not any people to mount any kind of an offensive. There's no ammunition to mount any kind of offensive. The HIMARS weapons are being totally destroyed and disrupted using electronic EMPs, and they're not even functional right now. The tanks haven't arrived. There's no equipment. So you can blame it on whatever weather you want. That's the situation. That's the truth. We all know that. And Russia has now taken control of Bakhmut, and it's going to continue. Russia will its slow, methodical destruction. We're getting reports that that's the plan. It's not going to be some massive shock and awe campaign for television. It's going to be slow and methodical, and it probably won't make many Russians happy. It probably won't make the television. CNN would not like to be able to cover it with Wolf Blitzer, with bombs going off and air raid sirens every 5 seconds. It will be slow, methodical, and it could be actually pretty boring for a lot of people. And that's exactly what's going to happen. The slow, methodical move. So that's the war update part of it. That's really where we're at, to be honest with you. Now to the real reason NATO provoked Russia in the first place. It's all about the money. A few days ago, Hillary Clinton was at an event where she perfectly explained and summed up exactly how it all works. Just send more money and weapons to Ukraine. That's how it all works. Watch.
And the best way to end Putin's aggression is for Ukraine to win. And that means we have to give them more help.
Look at the standing ovation. Yeah, we got to just keep sending them weapons. That's how they win. Look at all the money. Look at all the money. All the money. That's right, Hillary. Yeah, let's give it up. Look at that yes woman. Yeah, more money. Because all of them, all of the big donors.
Being fed off of that applause.
All of those donors.
That she won't sacrifice for.
No. She's not
I said that.
Yeah.
Raise the roof.
So BlackRock executives are meeting with Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. They've been there. They spent a nice weekend in Kiev. Let them know, all the BlackRock executives, they wanted them to know now who owns Ukraine from top to bottom. It's BlackRock.
I'm sure they probably met in different bunkers than the NATO leaders that were there, right?
No. It was in the nice palace. It was they got the nice silverware. They got the nice curtains and the daylight. So BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world. It has massive ownership in, by the way, 7 top Russian companies, as well as major infrastructure across Russia. So it owns a lot of Russia as well. And it reminds me, this is they profit off of war either way, right? This is how it works with BlackRock. And now they own 30% of Ukraine, which is a low number, relatively speaking. But so they really want to own the whole enchilada, is what they're going for.
Which is interesting because it used to be during war that it was weapons makers that profited off of both sides. We don't see that anymore because Russia and China make their own. And so it's not just one, and who is the new kingmakers of war is money.
Right. Yeah, it's right. So it's who can we lend money to? It's who can we then make indebted to us, right? This is the international monetary, right? We'll lend you money, but then you're indebted to us for decades to come, right? The UK only recently paid off its debt to the United States from World War II. Think about that. Just a few years ago, the UK finally paid off its World War II debt to the United States, which is unbelievable. So why are executives from BlackRock meeting with Zelensky in Ukraine this weekend? What could they possibly have to gain? Here's the moment where they're all shaking hands. And I want you to notice all of the fancy camera work that they've got set up, like multiple cameras on tracks, so it's nice and smooth, it's well lit. Like this is a whole big production for all their big money guys in BlackRock. Watch.
President.
Nice to meet you.
Honor and pleasure to meet you.
Honor. You're very welcome.
Very good to be here.
Hello.
Charles, how are you?
Nice to meet
Very
you,
good to see you.
Good
Very
to see
good to see
you.
you.
Good to see you.
Thank you for having us.
For us, privilege.
It's a privilege.
Thank you so much for having
It's a
us.
privilege. Put on the best black sweater for you.
Це ж таки буде потужний
Okay, let's
сигнал,
meet.
Zelensky 5'4"?
посилення
He's like 5'2".
нашого, хай я скажу,
Zelensky is like
Excuse me,
5'2", 5'2"
there's
in
nothing wrong with
heels.
being 5'2".
But he's 5'2" in heels. We've seen him in
I'm
his
5'2".
naked dancing heels.
Hasn't stopped me in life from kicking ass.
You're a woman.
Yes.
Back in December, so this was the big meeting this weekend, right? And they're there, of course. How many billions are we going to then? We'll put this money here, but we're going to buy up all of this land, so we will own everything.
You'll recall this is exactly what Zelensky solicited when he spoke to Congress just a few months ago. And he said, hey, we're open for business. We like these companies, such as he specifically named BlackRock and offered them to come and invest in whatever Ukraine would be when it was rebuilt as a glorious victor. So we shouldn't be surprised he asked for this, and so,
Right.
of course, this is, okay, that's why we knew this.
Yes. So, hey, I'll check into that. Our health. Thank you. Hold on a second. We just got a really nice super chat. Thank you for that. We will check into that, and I will look into that. Thank you so much, Our Health. Thank you so much. So, go ahead, David. You were going to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say, what was I going to say? Because Zelensky runs everything, he can offer them like whatever incentives they want. Like that, it's whatever they want is on the table. You want tax incentives, you want to pay no interest, you want all this stuff. Like he can set all that, so it's like a gold mine for them over there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and so infrastructure from sewer to electricity to all major infrastructure, everything, the land. We're going to set up factories. We will own everything. That's exactly. So they own 30% of the country already. How much more do they want? Well, they want 70, 80%. They certainly don't want Vanguard snuffing in there. So it's been all BlackRock, right? And JP Morgan Chase, basically. Last December, it was revealed that BlackRock CEO Larry Fink had already been having meetings with Zelensky. We learned about this. And of course, the Zoom phone calls. There's Larry Fink with zooming in, to the conference room with Zelensky, ironing things out. How can we make sure that all the infrastructure, the money we're going to pour into is growing? And that's exactly what's happening. And as Zero Hedge has been reporting, there's growing pushback now over BlackRock in Ukraine. Taxpayers paying for the war, so that, and all the war bills. So all of the taxpayers, you guys are paying for all of the weapons. You guys are paying for all of the bullets. You guys are paying for all of this. You guys are paying for because of higher inflation. All of it because of Ukraine. And then who profits? It's BlackRock. They get to swoop in at these deeply discounted, war-torn prices. Hey, we've got it's like a Crazy Eddie sale, for Memorial Day. Hey, we've got a war on. We've got great prices this war. Come on, who wants to come in and support it? And BlackRock swoops in with all of their money. So you're funding it, and they get to reap it, the harvest of it all. Here's Going Underground. This is a good tweet. Ukraine being privatized and sold off to companies like BlackRock while being enslaved to the International Monetary Fund, the United States, and the EU through crippling debt. And we reported on this last year here on the show. Oh, sure, the IMF will give you all of these loans, but then you'll be indebted to us for decades to come. We will own you. It's exactly what the IMF does to Africa, and it will do to Ukraine. You will be under the thumb of the EU, the United States, and the International Monetary Fund for decades to come. Now, if you want to see why Tucker Carlson, our friend, was pulled off the air at Fox, look no further than this segment where he names names and calls out BlackRock just a few months ago. This is January. This segment aired, and then and it was revealed that Zelensky was already having meetings with BlackRock. Watch this amazing moment.
Destroyed Ukraine, killed over 100,000 Ukrainians, but it's still going. Why is that? Because the Biden administration has kept it going. They could have forced a peace. They haven't. They don't want to. Why is that? Why kill all these Ukrainians? Why destroy an entire country? Well, because people are getting rich. BlackRock plans to get rich. So BlackRock is now saying out loud that the war in Ukraine, the death of all these Ukrainians, is actually a great opportunity to transform Ukraine into a beacon of capitalism. Right. Goldman Sachs is excited, too. Their CEO says that rebuilding Ukraine represents, quote, good economic incentives for real return and real investment. Imagine. Whose money is that? Oh, it's going to be yours to rebuild Ukraine. These guys are going to get rich from it. You see how this works?
Yeah, you see how this works? Boy, we miss him. That was January. And then a few days after those comments by Tucker, BlackRock increased its position in Fox News in February. Coincidence? Yes. BlackRock now owns a massive percentage of Fox News. Many of you know this. This is not news to many of you. Maybe it's news to some of you. If you don't think that this had anything to do with Tucker being silenced, then just go to Fox's website, by the way, and do a search for stories about BlackRock. This is interesting, right? We just saw Tucker doing a story about BlackRock. And the way that Fox's website works on the back end is that it uses transcripts of segments. So when you do a search, Tucker did a whole segment on BlackRock. Go there and type in the search results for that segment or any segments on BlackRock. Should easily pop up in search results. You can find hundreds of other Tucker segments there, but you won't find anything on BlackRock. Zero. Notice on your screen, zero. Zero. When you type in BlackRock on Fox's website, zero. You'll get zero results. Interesting, huh? Of course, Tucker was right. And Zelensky even went on camera to gloat about all of the money that Ukraine was getting from BlackRock and JP Morgan.
It is obvious that American business can become the locomotive that will once again push forward global economic growth. We have already managed to attract attention and have cooperation with such giants of the international financial and investment world as BlackRock, JP Morgan, and Goldman Sachs. Such American brands as Starlink or Westinghouse have already become part of our Ukrainian way. Your brilliant defense systems, such as HIMARS or Bradleys, are already uniting our history of freedom with your enterprises. We are waiting for Patriots. We are looking closely at Abrams. Thousands of such examples are possible, and everyone can become a big business by working with Ukraine.
Come on down to Ukraine. We've got plenty of things for you to buy.
That's right. It was that speech. It wasn't in Congress. This was essentially solicitation for like, hey, all things American, you know, we love American brands. We love American money. Hey, let me make you a deal I can't refuse. Yeah. And we're ready, basically, for your investment.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we really support freedom, right? We really support freedom. And this is how you can support democracy. Like if you want to invest in Ukraine because they support democracy, right? They're a beacon of democracy in Ukraine. Side note, this afternoon, we got word that BlackRock has now increased its position in Pfizer. So BlackRock now owns 8% of Pfizer. BlackRock owns everything, and so does Vanguard. So is it any wonder that, you know, I mean, all of these, and they're all tied together. So when you see the silencing of Tucker on Fox News after BlackRock increases its position in Fox News, and pulled off the air because he's critical of Ukraine and he's critical of them tamping down on democracy. I mean, is it any wonder? We don't have confirmation of that, but you can draw pretty direct lines between that, can't you? And I don't know. I find it incredibly disturbing, but this is the whole plan. So all you needed to do at the beginning was follow the money in Ukraine. That's all they care about. Hillary Clinton told us right at the beginning. That's exactly what's happening here. Let us know your thoughts on this in the comments below.